Lomachenko, man. You know, get him into Leeds Arena, get him into Bear Pit, man. It was meant to be all heart and Mexican and whatnot, and I don't think for the last few years it's been in a real meaningful fight. Got to beat this fella, and not only got to beat him, I've got to beat him in style.
Josh, here we go again.
Chris, we're here again. Fight number 30, the 10th fight at the Leeds Arena. That's headlining the shows, not just featuring on the undercard or whatever, but headlining the shows. And it doesn't seem like it's 2 minutes ago since being a week or so out from fight night, and yeah, it's come around really quickly.
I suppose after the Frampton fight, I don't think anyone expected your next two fights were going to be in Leeds.
No, I mean, a lot of folk will have been getting the passports ready or expecting a trip to the States at some point. Maybe because I've been banging the drum about wanting to do that, going to fight in America. Obviously I had my mandatory and the IBF enforced it in Galahad, so we had to take care of business there. And then after that, getting him out of the way, we would have thought that one of the other champions would have wanted a fight. I thought there were no one left over here for me to fight, no one in Europe. Not really to be climbing the ladder, you know. I think I'd beaten everyone, best in Europe. Now the rest were left over in the stateside. Whether they come over here or I go over there, which I wanted to do because I like an holiday, and and it's all about making memories. But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be, and you know, two of the champions since have vacated the belts and moved up. And I can't sit on the sideline. I've got to be busy. I've got to be fighting. I've got to be defending my title. So here we are. We're back at Leeds. I think, you know, we just make more memories, and the fans get an opportunity to keep on coming to the fights and experience World Championship boxing on the doorstep.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned two of the guys have moved up, Santa Cruz, Valdez. I know you were keen to fight one of those. I mean, is that coincidence they both moved up, or do you think that they really don't want to fight you that much?
I think he's a bit of both. I mean, I don't want to blow smoke up my own backside saying they're absolutely in themselves because Josh Warrington's come through. But, you know, Oscar Valdez were crying about not being in these big fights and he wanted a unification fight. And I quickly put my hand up and said, I'm here. You know, I got Frank to really push hard, Frank and my manager Steve to push hard. And it's as though things get said on social media and to the camera, and when it comes down to signing the contract and putting it all in line, is it really worth it? Or we can have another steady defence. I mean, Santa Cruz, another one. I'm a fan of him, you know, because of the way that he fights and his style. But he's meant to be all heart and Mexican and whatnot. And I don't think for the last few years it's been in a real meaningful fight. You know, since he beat Carl Frampton again. All right, he had that rematch with Abner Mares, but like, I'm here for a unification, and you know, he pushed on, and he said, you know, there's other fights out there for him, and I think, in a certain respect, he could still draw interest in the easier fights. You know, being a 4-time world champion, he can sell it as that. No disrespect to the fellow who's fighting that BJ Flores, but I don't think he's the same fighter as what I am, and it's just like, ride the wave as long as possible. Why do we want to fight Josh Warrington when we can still go get a bigger payday or as big payday, and you know, do our own little bit of history? So it's one of them. Obviously there's Gary Russell Jr., but he only fights once a year, doesn't he? So you know, we can see after this fight, but I don't want to get my hopes up because that's what I did prior to Galahad. I kept concentrating on like what's to come after, what's next. We're going to the States, we're going to be fighting a unification fight. I thought it was certain. I went away on holiday and Frank and Steve had said to me, you know, things are progressing. I thought it was on. You know, I thought, that's it, we're going to have the big fight, but it wasn't to be, and like I say, here we are now.
Yeah, Gary Russell Jr., yeah, famously only goes out once a year or whatever, but there's a little bit of needle between you two, isn't there, on maybe social media, and then there was all that business with Santa Cruz's dad, wasn't there, and yeah.
Yeah, I found that a bit disrespectful. I don't know. Listen, I don't know Santa Cruz's dad, but I get the impression from media and whatnot that he's not the one to sit in front of the cameras. He's not about profile or anything like that. He seems quiet and reserved. I know that he's had a bit of an illness of recent years, so for him to go around there and then come away out of dressing rooms after they'd spoke to him and you know, put it to camera, I could have had your dad then, I could have done this, I could have done that. You know, cowardly like, can you imagine him putting his arm around Johnny? You know, Johnny Kebab, and you need him alive, man. You know, we're actually winding him up about that the other day, and he said, what, f***ing Gary Russell Jr., all 9 stone of him, I'd f***ing sit on. So, you know, I don't think he'd react like that. And he did an interview after that, because I responded with something on Twitter, saying how disrespectful, and he said, it's a clout move, me calling his name. You know, I didn't shout his name before Kid Galahad. Is he stupid? I had my mandatory. I have to fight my mandatory. If I didn't fight my mandatory, I get stripped. But got this one sorted out now, and if he wants to come out of his cocoon for the spring months, then I'll happily entertain him. If it's me going to his backyard, which I don't think he has a profile, get him over here and let's have a unification fight.
That would be something else. Another guy who could be in the frame very shortly, Stevenson.
Yeah, he's another one. With Oscar Valdez vacating the WBO, it was helping my name for a long time. I think he was ranked highly in the IBF rankings, but I think he's been made mandatory for the WBO, so he'll fight for that. It'd be interesting to see if he comes through and wins that belt. Will he want his first defence to be against me? I don't think so. I think I'd probably want to string that out, maybe 2 or 3 fights, then, you know, try unified division. I wouldn't have thought that his first fight would have wanted to unify and, you know, going straight to another title fight, but we'll see what happens. He's still got to win the fight yet.
And there's also one other person who's apparently looking to move back down the weights, arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Yep. Vasily Lomachenko, talking about coming down the f***ly. He's mastered at the top. Why has he got to come back down and pick on little guys? Now, you know, people have talked about. They asked me the question: if Lomachenko came down to featherweight, and they offered you the fight, would you fight him? Well, I could imagine it'd be a big payday. But not only that, why wouldn't you want to test yourself against the best? People say, ridiculous. Don't talk so daft. Look who he's beat. But at the end of the day, when you sit back and you retire, you don't want to sit and think, fucking hell, I bottled that fight. You know, you just, why not? What if? What if? You know what I mean? Take up them challenges. At the end of the day, I'm at top of tree in my game, and you want to be mixing with the very, very, very best. Take on them challenges. At the end of the day, that's a sport. You know, you look at sports like UFC, become very, very popular over a few years. Yeah, we obviously got McGregor, who was a big forefront of the sport, but fans are really taken to the sport because the champions fight each other on a regular basis, and they don't have to wait years and years and years for it to happen. It just happens. And you know, if one fighter comes away with an L on his record, it's not a new world. There's some come back. But Lomachenko, man, you know, get him into Leeds Arena, get him into Bear Pit, man.
Well, Lomachenko's got an L on his record, albeit right at the start of his career. Well, there you go. So I mean, he's not Superman. If that ever did happen, it's not like you're 100 to 1 against, is it? No,
well, this is it. He got old man in a way. He got smothered. He got spoiled. I think Lomachenko is an unbelievable fighter. In you know, at times the way that he moves, it can make you very, very frustrating. I know it's easier said from outside looking in about how you go about it until you be there in front of him yourself. But I think if it was me, just go with him. Just go with him every single punch. Every time he throws, you've got to throw with him and throw more. I know I've got engine to do that for an high-paced 12 rounds, so that would be probably my tactics to go about it and drag him into a war.
Brilliant. And before all of that, as you've already said, you can't take your eye off the ball.
No.
You've got this fight on Saturday. And also, you know, with you said before, you're looking too much in the future in the last fight, so presumably you're 100% focused on this.
Like I say, I'm not using, I'll get this one out way and there's a lot of goal. All right, I know I might sound like contradicting myself there because I just talked about Gary Russell Jr., but don't believe me, my focus has all been on this fight and this fight only. I hadn't even thought about really throughout camp, you know, when I've been training. I haven't been hitting bags thinking, you know, this is what's come after. I haven't been going for a run thinking this is what's going to happen after. It's just all about this fight and this fight only, performing well, doing the business, and it's just everything's been centred around Takuchi. You know, there's not been anything else like I need to do this. Before the Galahad fight, I was kind of thinking about other things whilst I was training, you know, thinking about what's going to come after, thinking about just get this one done. And that's kind of the mentality, just get it done, just get it out of the way. Now I'm just concentrating on this fight as if he's a world champion, you know, really, really focused for this one. And I can bang the drum all day about how well I've trained and whatnot, but people will see October 12th.
And are we going to see the sort of performance that's got you 2 fights of the year titles? Congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Or we're not going to go back to the last fight because that wasn't the prettiest.
No, it was a cuddling contest, wasn't it? It was a cuddling contest, and you know, when someone just wants to survive, then that's what happens. Obviously, it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to make a great fight. Takuchi's got a massive opportunity here. He's been gifted it. I'm not going to sell it to people at home that he's like the next Floyd Mayweather, because you know he's not. But he's a tough. What I will say is he's a tough, durable opponent. You know, he's 30 odd wins on his record, 15 odd by stoppage. He's only really lost to the fellas who've at a high level or gone on to you know, fight for world titles themselves. He's going to be there. He's never been stopped. He always likes to come forward, and he's a southpaw as well, so he's been gifted a massive opportunity here. Yeah, he worked in IBF rankings, but he probably didn't think it would come so soon. It's there now, and he'll realise that if he could cause an upset, you know, nothing's ever written in boxing. If he can cause an upset, then it changes his life, it changes his career, and it gives it a little boost. At the same time, for me, keeping the dream alive, keeping that goal of being a unified champion, got to beat this fella, and not only got to beat him, I've got to beat him in style. You know, that's what I've been working on, like doing it and working on finishing it early. You know, I don't like talking like that because I don't want to put too much pressure on finishing the fights early, but like I say, being a world champion and talking about mixing it with high level, you want to be finishing guys off like this and beating them in style.
Brilliant. Well, good luck Saturday, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.